Crush
There's one squash
it.
left, and that's about it.
One squash. Squash the squash, Miss Liz. Good morning, Tyler Van Meter.
And then it's under the squash.
It's under the squash. I don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about a sprinkler. Devin, good morning. I'm here. Where's the coffee? The person who figures out how to digitize coffee, trillionaire. I'm in. I'm all in. Good morning, Daniel. Dudley, good morning. I have been told that was the best pause. I'm just going to start doing that from now on in all my videos. Well, there's a podcast now, so shout out to Monica, who's a badass administrative assistant. You could be hearing this voice on the podcast. You can find it on iTunes and all the other places. So, wherever you get your podcasts at, go look for the Bear Independent Podcast. This will be on there. If you're listening to this on the podcast and you're like, who the hell is he talking to? We do this live on YouTube every morning. And, yeah. I'm talking to the YouTube people. So, thank you for being here. 97.2 thousand of you need to get your heads checked. Good morning, Ian McPhee. If you're lurking in the shadows, stop it. That's creepy. We don't appreciate that. So instead, come out of the shadows. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. That helps us with our ongoing battle with the YouTube algorithmic robots. And yes, I did absolutely steal that from Stu Brugier at The Blaze, because it's a great phrase. Good morning, Stumps, Roots, and Shoots. As always, please send your intel to intel@bearindependent.com. That is the email address for your intel, which is why it's called intel@bearindependent.com. Thank you, Mad Kelt. Good morning. And Patreon is where you get the entirety of this report daily, patreon.com. And shout out to our patrons. Frankly, we would just not do this at all if it wasn't for you. So thank you for being totally badass and supporting the show. 20th of August 2020, Bear Independent Intel Report Overview. Several universities have changed course due to breakouts of the virus, the China virus, and are once again asking students to continue their education remotely. I just got my mug. Thanks, Bear. You're welcome. I didn't do that. Hey, honey, they just got their mug. Thanks.
Yay.
Yay, she says. I had nothing to do with that. But you're welcome. I'll take all the credit. You're welcome. I'm glad you liked it. Hand-packed it myself. In fact, that logo that's on there, I did that with a Sharpie. That's how good I am. That's right. That's right. You're welcome. Delta Airlines has entered a partnership with CVS Health to speed up employee testing to boost customer confidence. Yay! Boeing is offering the second package to employees to encourage volunteer layoffs. And in Las Vegas, 250,000 people will be at risk of eviction next month. This amounts to about 10% of the population. It is estimated that 38% of renters in the county are currently unemployed. So that's wonderful. Got my wife's copy of the scriptures yesterday. Thank you very much. Hey, honey, good job. Awesome, she says. So,
Good job, Liz.
another economic indicator. My school just mandated masks for students in band and music. Good luck playing the clarinet with a mask on, or the tuba, or singing. It's not about, gosh dang, I'm going to get pissed and I'm going to start ranting. The masks don't work. They say on the side of the box, not effective against COVID-19. It's about control. It's about control. It's behavioral modification. It has nothing to do with preventing the spread of the virus. It is about behavioral modification. A Poly America plastics plant facility in Grand Prairie, Texas, caught fire when a power line fell into plastic sheeting in a storage area. The facility is expected to continue burning for several days, spitting toxic fumes into the air. While this may have an impact on plastic production, the main concern is for other major power lines in the area. If affected, many people who rely on that power could be impacted. Grand Prairie's not a little area either, so that sucks. Two or more eyewitness accounts, continuity of infrastructure and supply chains. Repeating, shortages include ammunition, firearms, coin, aluminum cans, home appliances, pressure-treated lumber, canning supplies, pepperoni. I mean, really, pepperoni. Good. Good. You don't eat swine anyway. Pepperoni, personal protective equipment, medical testing supplies and equipment, medical ventilation-related products, select Clorox products, and select construction materials. In short, good luck trying to buy things. This does vary greatly from region to region, and we have found that as a relocation of as little as 50 miles has changed availability for certain products for us. So, let's see. And price increases continue to be noted in construction materials. Have you noticed that, brother? Construction materials going up in price?
What's that?
Have you noticed that construction materials are going up in price?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. Me too.
Don't bid until you.
Yeah, don't bid the work until you have the materials. That's a good point. That is a good point. Legal, political, and military. The United States Postal Service Postmaster General LeJoy has said that any policy or operational changes will be suspended until after the presidential election, quote, to avoid even the appearance of any impact on election mail, end quote. We're going to camp on this just a hot minute. The post office enjoys a 91% approval rating, mostly because, in my opinion, people don't realize that it's an arm of the federal government. Now, it's privately owned, but it loses money. It's terrible. It's also how we send all of our packages. So, most of our packages. So I should maybe not badmouth them too much. But from a business standpoint, they're not good at their jobs. They lose a lot of money. A lot of money. I think they have a $120 billion deficit. But I could just be pulling that number out of thin air. But this whole post office talking point thing, it's just one more thing trying to get trying to make Trump a bad guy about the elections. The issue here, the larger issue, is that there's no winner in November. I don't think we're going to have a peaceful transition of power if Trump loses. And I don't think that if Trump wins, the militant left is going to acquiesce. Additionally, there are millions, tens of millions of people that are just good, normal, everyday American citizens who have been told to stay home since March, who have lost their jobs, who are struggling to feed their families, who can't pay their rent, who have had enough. And those people can lose their minds if chaos actual comes in October and in November. This COVID thing, knowing that it's a manufactured crisis at this point, certainly seems like we could be over it that quick. That quick. Boom, handled. Not a problem anymore because it's a 99 point something percent survivability rate. Hospitals are not inundated. It's a non-issue. Send people back to work because people need to eat. The government can't continue to print money so that people can eat and pay their bills. That's not working anyway. And then you bring in the elections, and I really truly believe come October, you need to be able to stay home from October to maybe January. October, November, December, January. 4 months. That's your toilet paper, your reading material, your food, your coffee, your creamer, your animal feed, your everything. And boy, do I want to be wrong. I really, 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 really want to be wrong about that, but I just feel like come October, things have the potential to really get crazy. And come November, forget it. I don't think that Sleepy Joe is going to beat Trump in an election. I don't think, regardless of Kamala Harris. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think the silent majority is more silent and more major than ever, but come November 5th, or whenever the hell we're voting this year, Trump has the potential to win in a landslide. That's going to piss the left off. I also think that Biden is not the presidential nominee for the Democrats. I think, especially after the DNC speech from Michelle Obama, and I've been saying Michelle Obama for a couple of months now they've got Kamala Harris, I think you're going to have your first transgender black president in Big Mike Obama. I think Biden's going to drop out. Michelle's going to step in. And I think that's a big part of why she was at the DNC doing what she was doing. She's showing that she's fit. She's level-headed. She can do the job. She's still there. She's still got those nice arms. Everybody loves talking about how nice her arms are, how big her Adam's apple is and whatever. And I think she steps in with Kamala Harris, and that's the presidential ticket for the Democrats. If that happens, I don't know if Trump wins. I don't know if Trump wins. But all this remains to be seen. My point is, the potential chaos around the elections makes me feel like I need to be able to stay put from October to maybe January. And that is exacerbated by this United States Postal Service bullcrap and this COVID-19 bullcrap. And it's all bull. It's all bull. You're going to mandate in schools now that the band has to wear masks. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's not because the masks work. It's behavioral modification. And I won't do it. I won't do it. My people won't do it. My kids won't do it. We're not doing it. I'm not playing this stupid game. So, with that, let's return to the report, shall we? Fabulous. Tremendous. Believe it. Believe it. In Texas, Austin City Council voted to cut 34% of the police department's budget. Afterward, the governor announced that legislation would be proposed to freeze property tax revenue for cities that defund their police departments. So the mayor of Austin and his city council say, yo, defund the police, cut the budget by 34%. And then the governor, Abbott, said, nope, if you do that, we're going to freeze your property tax revenue. Which anybody who's lived in Texas knows that property taxes, Texas is great until you get your property tax bill. 12 times what we pay here. what we pay here for acreage with houses and wells and outbuildings, we paid 12 times that for a third of an acre with a fallen down house in North Texas. Shall I repeat? 12 times. There's a lot of freaking revenue that's generated by property taxes in Texas. And so that's a major blow to cities freezing their property tax revenue. The question is, does the governor have the authority to do that? Maybe he does, politically speaking, maybe he doesn't. But I'm kind of the opinion here of you reap what you sow. If Austin wants to defund their police, let them defund their police. And when literal bodies are laying in the street because they made stupid decisions, let them reap what they sow. People will leave. They'll crash their local economy. Businesses will shut down. And then maybe people will realize the error of their ways and let the pendulum swing back in the other direction. Let it burn, something new will grow after. It's kind of where I'm at now. And see, you know, we've actually talked about this. I'll talk about this briefly again. I believe that we are at the end of the 250-year cycle for the United States of America. The fate of empire, Sir John Glubb, right? That's one of the things that's going on here in the United States. Empires last about 250 years. We're 246 years in at this point, roughly. 244, somewhere in there. Almost 250. You add in the 400-year solar cycle, which we're experiencing now as well. You add in the seasons of war, the 60-year season and the 80-year season of war for the United States. There's a huge convergence on 2020 and 2021. Here we are. Well, part of that is that 250-year cycle, the fate of empires. Well, we are in the decline stage. Just look around. We're in the decline stage. Something new has to come. And so rather than focusing on the decline stage, why not short circuit the cycle and go instantly, at least for us in the micro, to phase one, building and expansion. That's what we're doing. We're building and expanding. Everywhere you look around here, there's freaking construction materials everywhere. My whole property looks like a job site. Because my whole property is a job site. Building and expansion. That's what we're doing. That's what we are doing in the micro. Team building, community building, infrastructure building. Because whatever comes next will be what we make it. At least in the micro. It may be what they make it in the macro, but how we choose to let that affect us is entirely on us. Just like I'm not going to wear these stupid masks. You know, tyranny only gets a foothold if you tolerate it. We won't. We don't. So short circuit that cycle. Yes, on the macro, the United States of America, as we know it, is coming to an end. What comes next, I have no idea, but whatever that is what we make of it. So rather than trying to hold on to this thing we've had for 244 years, and believe me, I love it. I love the United States of America. I think we need to be thinking about what comes next. And maybe what comes next can return to the ideals that made this country great in the first place. But we're going to have to reestablish those ideals. We're going to have to reestablish as a nation our covenant with the Father, if you believe in such things. We need to reestablish as individuals our covenant with the Father. We need to be strong as individuals so that we can have strong families, because strong families make strong communities. Strong communities make strong counties make strong states make strong regions, and strong regions make strong countries. So it all comes back to the micro. What can you do on the micro to short circuit this macro cycle that's coming to an end? Well, phase one is building and construction. What are you building? Is it a community? Is it relationships? Is it infrastructure? Is it agriculture? Is it all of those things? That's what we're trying to do here. So let them reap what they sow. Let Austin, Texas burn to the ground. Let Minneapolis burn to the ground. Let Chicago, New York, California burn to the ground. Well, it sucks for the people that live there. Yes, it does. Guess what? There's nobody here that's from here. Everybody here is from somewhere else. I was born and raised in upstate New York. Do you see me going on and on about how tragic New York is? No, New York sucks. Guess what? I'm not there anymore. I don't want to be there. I don't care if it burns to the ground at this point. By the way, just a real quick story. If you read your Bible, which I would encourage you to do, you will take note of the fact that the Father's people move. They don't stay in one place for too long. They move. Anytime they settle down for too long, things go sideways. They forget their covenant with their Father. So, the Father's people move. With that, Austin, Texas. Let them defund the police. Let's see what happens. We know what's going to happen. It'll be chaos. And maybe enough people will stand up amidst that chaos and shine light on the fact that they're living amidst chaos and this is not how people are supposed to live, and that will swing the pendulum back in the direction of sanity and order. So, just saying. Societal and general. Good morning, Weasel. The University of Tennessee, Knoxville chancellor has made clear that students who do not follow COVID-19 guidelines could be expelled. To which I would say, kiss my hairy white ass. Students at Albion College in Michigan are required to download a smartphone app that tracks their location. To which I would say, kiss my hairy white ass. The college is attempting to create a COVID-19 bubble, requiring students to stay within the campus's 4.5-mile perimeter. Otherwise, they may be suspended. Campus staff, on the other hand, may leave the perimeter. Joshua Scott, bless you. Denver, Colorado. More than 200 police officers have resigned or retired since Colorado passed their police reform bill. And one viewer notes that the only pharmacy for 180 miles was forced by the state to be closed to the public. The owner is not permitted to have employees assist him in any way because he was unwilling to force his patrons to wear a mask. DHS has posted a sign designating it as an unsafe space, and he is serving customers one at a time from a folding table. Pics of this are on Patreon. Actionable. Local bakeries and ice cream shops may be a good source for diabetes. They probably also have buckets that you can put food in. Bulk popcorn, easily stored ground for emergency food and planted. You can also, and should also be, good morning, Diggin', be finding bulk suppliers of grains. Get them now while you can. Get them now while you can. Get them now while you can. Check your hand sanitizers. Don't eat them, drink them, snort them, smoke them. Be in communication with your neighbors and sheriff's department. Be as prepared as possible as a group for civil unrest. Reach out and socially support others, including children and the elderly. If you cannot acquire a freezer for meat, you know the deal. Pressure canning, picking, and freeze drying are all options. Also consider looking on alternative markets like Book of Face and List of Craig. Alternative food resources include Asian supply stores, Amish and Mennonite stores, restaurant supply stores, and local farmers. However, don't eat the farmers, just eat their food. I'm not down today. I'm good today. So, I'm over the bullshit. COVID-19 is a joke. This global pandemic is a joke. I'm me today. Thank you. Good morning, Cassie. Good morning. I know no one who can buy that much. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see. Medical supplies, y'all know the deal. You can check out bearindependent.com, and you can also look at midwife and veterinarian supply stores. We always need more silver linings. We're getting to that in a minute. If you cannot obtain seed in your area, use your pantry. Dry beans, seeds found inside of ripe squash and tomatoes potatoes that are left to sprout eyes and so forth. And as always, stay politically vigilant and active. Now, silver linings, please send them to intel@bearindependent.com. 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 Good morning, fruit of the Holy Spirit. Good morning. Haunted. Good morning. Now, a shout out for Hobie's little sister, baby Hobie, who is new to prepping in the Bear Nation. Welcome, baby Hobie. Phenomenal name. Welcome to the Bear Nation. Another viewer says, through the last 4 months, I've been able to put away another 6 months supply of food. This is quadruple what I had been putting up every week. One of the best places I've been finding lots of the food and water has been Dollar Tree. The peace of mind knowing that I have enough to weather whatever comes is because of Bear and packing it to the rafters. Well, it's because of the Father, but bless you, I'm glad that you got another 6 months of food put up. That is phenomenal. Another viewer says, while helping someone get out of bed and stop drinking, one woman was told, quote, "You're better than my therapist. You have this melodious, wonderful voice. When you tell me to go take a shower, I actually want to do it." Very cool. When my wife tells me to go take a shower, I don't generally want to go do it. But I do, because, you know. Ivan Huertas. Good morning. And another viewer says, since March, my wife and I have amassed about 4,000 rounds of ammo, plate carriers, buckets of rice and pasta, a freezer full of meat, and a small garden that sustains our day-to-day needs for veggies and herbs. We also have about 2 winters' worth of firewood in reserve and about 100 ounces of silver just in case. We live on a 1/4-acre plot in Connecticut, and we are making it work. My wife is now on board as she has seen that when things go wrong, no one is coming to save you. We don't know what's coming, but having all these things in reserve provides peace of mind and helps us sleep better at night. That's awesome. Bless you. Notes, y'all can find each other at preppersonly.com. I mean, the forums at bearindependent.com or whatever. So go check that out. Swag and gear can be found at the online store at bearindependent.com. Veterans for Child Rescue. Vets, the number 4, childrescue.org. Somebody mentioned on Patreon yesterday. They said, Bear, you know, this would work better if you had all the URLs posted. I do. They're on Patreon in the write-up of this report that posts every evening before we do this every morning, to say nothing of good job, Crazy Connect. Thank you. The mods are constantly lasagna time after the shower. That is correct. You always want to shower before you make lasagna because you don't want to taint the sauce. You know what I mean? However, but you can find all these links posted here in the chat as well as on Patreon. So vets, the number 4, childrescue.org. Please go check them out. Tell them that Bear sent you. And if you can, support them. GrindstoneMinistries.com is our ministry. Recommended that you go check us out. Test our works. Sample our fruit. If you feel like we're doing what we say we do, then by all means, we would love to partner with you. We need your support. We have a lot of stuff going on. And, yeah. Try us on for size. GrindstoneMinistries.com. You can drink DisasterCoffee.com and visit SanctifiedSupplyCo.com and amendment the number 1 Preparedness.com to support all of our friends who support us at Grindstone. You guys know the deal about Bethany House. The demandproject.org is trying to raise $25 per month from 300 different people, which will allow them to support 6 girls through their program. Bethany House is important because there are people who go there who have been broken. And they need to be put back together again. And that's why we have poured so much into Bethany House. We've poured over 40,000 of your dollars, over 40,000 of your dollars into Bethany House, and over 8,000 man hours into Bethany House. Let me repeat that. 8,000 man hours. So that that facility can rehabilitate and restore people who have been broken, sold for sex as product as young as 8 years old. There's one woman who's coming into the program now who's 29 years old and cannot brush her teeth and still sucks on a pacifier because her abuse began at age 3. And she is mentally stuck at age 3. She has been serial raped for the last 26 years. And so when people, Bear, you're too serious. Bear, you seem heavy today. We fight not against flesh and blood, but against nations and principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. And there is real shit that goes on out there in the world. None of us has a right to complain. And every one of us has a duty to serve. And I'm thankful to y'all for helping me keep my hands up in this battle every day, because it's things like the fact that some asshole or assholes abused that woman for 26 years. That just absolutely infuriates me and breaks my heart at the same time. And I want to kill those people. And I want to kill those people with zero remorse. But the world needs places where people like that can be put back together again. And literally the only place that I know of that is doing that is Bethany House. So I can read the copy that's on my paper over here. I can tell y'all, hey, go check them out. But I mean it. I mean it. Please visit thedemandproject.org and please visit Grindstone Ministries, and please keep us in prayer, because we do a lot of things that y'all never see. There's a lot of life that we live without the camera on, and there is a lot of battling that is done for the kingdom that never sees the light of day. So, yeah. There's evil out there. Some days I'm more aware of it than others. There's real evil out there. So, let's pray. Good morning, Father Yah. Father, I lift up these victims to you. And I just pray that you'd make them whole. I don't know how you would do that, but I pray that you would. And Father, I feel you pulling us further down this rabbit hole, deeper into servitude against this abomination. And it worries me. It worries me because I have no idea how to do that and feed my family at the same time. But I know you're good. I know you're trustworthy and true. And I know that you don't forsake those that don't forsake you. So Father, wherever you need me, put me there. Whatever you need me to do, make it clear. I'll do it. However you need me to serve, we're on board. Father, thank you for these people. Father, if there's anything within the sound of my voice that's not of you, we rebuke it in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, command it to flee. Pray you'd fill us up. Just fill us up, Father. For power and strength and wisdom and authority. For compassion and for love. For discernment. To do many mighty works in your name. I pray that you'd bless everybody within the sound of my voice. I pray you'd put us where we need to be today. I ask these things in Yeshua's name. Amen. Appreciate y'all. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I have been accused regularly of being the worst liar on the face of the earth. And I don't have a gray area. I think all of that's okay. I appreciate y'all being tolerant of the fact that I'm not an entertainer. I'm not a newscaster. I'm not a personality. I'm a person. And I'm a person that, due to the circumstance of this COVID-19, is spending a lot more time on camera with y'all than I ever did before. And I appreciate it. I really do. And I appreciate your support. But it's an interesting life that we lead. Ranger girl, bless you. Thank you. Y'all have an awesome day. Hey, I'd be lifting those kiddos up. Really, there's evil out there. Be lifting those kiddos up. Shalom.